Hello everyone, welcome to Sulfursoft. Today we are going to start lecture number 5 of Python Mega Course. We will discuss what is block indentation in Python and what is the purpose of indentation in Python. We will thoroughly discuss this in this lecture. As you know, or if you have seen the code of any other language, then you will see brackets there. What is the purpose of brackets in other languages? I will show you a code. Let's discuss. I'm not going to execute the code, but I am showing you a syntax of other language and will tell you why they use brackets and whether we use brackets in Python or not. If we don't use brackets in Python, then what we will use? Let's see. For example, in other language, the code is just like this. Function, let's suppose we are going to name this function as sum, and I'm going to take the two values x and y. Then we'll use the brackets, or we can use this like this and return x plus y. And then in other language, this is the syntax of JavaScript. Here we are using brackets. Brackets shows you that it is one block of code. This is one block of code which belongs to this function sum. We will discuss in upcoming videos that what is function, what is the purpose of these functions, what are classes. But at this moment, to understand the block, just consider it. Here is the function whose name is sum, and the block of that function starts with bracket and ends with bracket. And now this line of code is separate than this block of code. After this block of code, this will be executed. It is the syntax of other language. Now, I will show you the syntax of Python. I'm going to delete it. In Python, function is defined with the keyword def. We will discuss it thoroughly in upcoming videos, but to show you what is block, what is indentation in Python, I'm going to write a code. Def sum x and y. I'm going to take sum of 1 and 3. Let's see what will be the output. 4. I have taken the sum of two variables 1 and 3. In Python, I haven't used any bracket like this. To show a separate block of code. No, I haven't used this. Why? Because Python don't allow the use of bracket. Instead of it, Python defines a block of code with the colon, and after that there are four spaces below the colon which shows block of code. For example, if I don't use colon, then Python will give me the error because it is invalid syntax. If you are defining a block of code, you need a colon and then you need four spaces downward. For example, I don't use the space. There is nothing under this function. It will be treated like a separate line. Here you can see the error. Expected an indented block, and below the function I haven't used any indented block. So I'm going to indent. Yes, now it is right. So you can use tab or you can use four number of spaces. Python prefers four number of spaces instead of use of tab. If I'll use tab like this and with the mixture of spaces, then Python will definitely discourage this. Python only encourages the spaces. If you are using tab to make a block of code, then you need to be consistent. Mean in other block of code, you will use the tab. Instead of it, you use the spaces. If you will use the mixture of both, or if you'll use two or three number of spaces instead of four number of spaces, then it is possible your code will automatically generate an error or your code will not respond like you want. For example, I am taking another code. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. If A is equal to 10, I'm starting a block of code with the help of colon. Then you can see there are four spaces. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, if I will directly enter from here, then PyCharm will automatically create four spaces for you. If A is equal to 10, then I'll print we are in if block. We can use else, or I will show you another way of else. First, we will start with else. We are in else block. Now, I'm going to run it. A is equal to 10. Yes, A is equal to 10 and we are in the if block. If A is equal to 10, then this block of code will be executed. If A is not equal to 10, then this block of code will be executed. Both are different blocks because this colon and four number of spaces are separating this block from this else block. For example, I'm not using else, I'm doing this, then both print statement will be in the if block like this. Yes, you can see the output, both are in the same block. Now I am going to make it a separate block. So below print statement is not in the above block. It has separated it from the above block by removing the four number of spaces behind it. Let's execute. Yes, because we haven't used any else statement, so this statement will definitely will execute. So I will show you and make a statement like this. We are in a block after if statement which will execute in any case. You can see this, the output after the if. For example, I use this. A is equal to 1. Now A is not equal to 10. Then what will happen? Only 1 because this block of code has not been executed. Now I will make another block of code inside if statement. If A is equal if B is equal to 20, then what will happen? Just see, we are having 8 number of spaces here. So this block of code will be under this block of code. If this block of code will be executed, then this block of code will be executed. We haven't used any brackets to separate the block of code. We have used colon and indentation. Hence, in Python, indentation plays very much critical and important role. Now I will write a code, print we are in an, or I can say we are under parent block of code. Now I am in this. For example, is equal to 10. This will be executed, and after that it will check if b is equal to 20, then this execute. I'll do this, b is equal to 2. Now only this block of code has been executed. The rest of the code has not been executed. For example, I do this, a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 20, b is equal to 20. We haven't used any bracket. In other languages, it could possibly be executed, but in Python, it will not be executed because Python is treating it as a child block of this block, child block of this block. So I'm going to execute it, no output, because this statement is true, but this statement is not true. Unfortunately, this statement is under the main block. Now let's move toward the presentation where we will again see similar type of things which already I have explained to you. Python uses indentation. As I have already told you on the pie chart that Python uses 4 spaces, or you can also use tab, but please make sure that spaces and tabs mixture should not be created in your code. Otherwise your code will misbehave. It is very much important that don't put 3 number of spaces, 2 number of spaces. It is the de facto standard that you must use 4 number of spaces to start block of code after colon. Wrong calibration of spaces or wrong use of spaces could lead your program toward the error or unexpected behavior of the program. As I already told you in the PyCharm that Python uses colon and 4 number of spaces below it, which is called indentation, to show you that from here a block of code is starting, and after that if there are no 4 number of codes, then the above block of code has been terminated and now the new block of code is going to execute. That's the same thing, that a block of code has started with the colon and then there are indented lines below it. Always use 4 number of spaces instead of 2, 3 or something, and don't use any tab. If you want to use tabs, then remain consistent in your all over the code. Python 3 disallows mixing of tabs and spaces. Although it was allowed in version 2, but it is not allowed in version 3. In some cases, compilers generate an error that the block of code has not proper number of spaces or tabs. Thank you.